The tyranny of the performed self, beyond the alpha's mask. You were told to be dominant, to take no prisoners, to be the asshole she secretly craves. You learned to master the techniques, the unyielding frame, the power of a tactical no, the posture of amused mastery. You learned to project an aura of command, to pass her tests, to become the rock against which her emotional waves crash. And in doing so, you ascended. You left the desolate plains of the beta far behind. You became, in form and in function, the alpha. But even now, even in your victories, do you not feel it? A subtle, persistent tension, a quiet exhaustion, the constant low-grade effort of maintaining the performance, of defending the frame, of ceaselessly projecting the power. You have become a master of the game, yes, but you are still a player on a hostile board, forever reacting, forever guarding your throne from the next inevitable challenge. What if the throne you so fiercely defend is a prison in disguise? What if dominance, as you have learned it, is merely the shadow of a far greater, more effortless, more devastating power? Today, we deconstruct the alpha's dominance, and we unveil the sovereign's gravity. The Gnosis you are about to receive will not add another technique to your arsenal. It will shatter the very concept of the arsenal itself. It will show you the path from doing power to being power. A power so absolute, so silent, so fundamental that the very concepts of challenge and defense dissolve into irrelevance in its presence. Deconstruction. The alpha's tactical dominance, a necessary but limited power. Let us give the alpha his due. The tactical dominance he wields is a potent and necessary weapon against the feminized matrix. It is the first great act of masculine self-reclamation. He understands that his command presence, his posture, his voice, his ownership of space establishes his authority. He knows the power of no is a fundamental test of his sovereign frame. He wields amused mastery, treating her emotional outbursts not as threats but as playful antics. These tactics are effective. They signal strength and command respect. But the alpha's dominance is, at its core, reactive. It is a performance that must be constantly maintained. He passes her tests, yes, but in doing so, he implicitly accepts the premise that he is being tested at all. His power is defined in relation to her challenges. He is a warrior on watch, forever guarding the walls of his kingdom. He is powerful, but he is not yet free. Do you recognize this warrior's fatigue? The subtle strain of always being on? That tension is the signal that you have reached the limits of this paradigm. It is the psychic alarm bell telling you there is a higher, more effortless state of being. What is the single most exhausting aspect of maintaining this alpha performance for you? Is it the need to constantly deflect tests? The fear of a single moment of weakness shattering the illusion? Share your gnosis of this limitation in the comments below. Your awareness of the cage's bars is the first step toward dissolving them. Transcendence. The sovereign's gravity, the power of pure emanation. Now we ascend. Beyond the Alpha's tactical dominance lies the sovereign's gravity. This is not a performance, it is an emanation, an effortless, non-negotiable atmospheric pressure exerted by a man who has achieved profound internal integration. The sovereign does not project power, his very being is a field of power. He does not defend his frame is the reality of the room. This state is not achieved through more tactics. It is forged in the deepest alchemical chambers of the masculine soul, and it is built upon two sacred pillars. The first pillar, the Gnosis of the King. The Alpha, in his highest form, embodies the archetype of the warrior. He is a master of action, of conflict, of defending the perimeter of his reality. His power is in the doing, the deflecting, the winning of moments. It is a necessary and potent energy. But the warrior, for all his strength, is a servant. He serves a higher power, a deeper principle. He serves the king. The king archetype is not another tool in your arsenal. It is the throne room at the center of your soul. It is the central, ordering principle of a mature, integrated masculine psyche. The warrior fights on the battlefield at the kingdom's edge. The king sits unmoved at the axis of the world itself, and from his stillness, reality takes its shape. The king's power is not tactical, it is gravitational. He does not act dominant. His presence creates order. He does not project authority. He is the source from which all legitimate authority flows. His dominion is expressed through two sacred generative functions. First, the imposition of order. The king is the living embodiment of divine structure. He perceives the chaos of the world, the emotional storms of the feminine, the shifting sands of social dynamics, not as a threat, but as raw, unformed matter awaiting his architectural will. His presence, his silence, his very breath imposes a coherent pattern upon this chaos. He does not fight the storm. He is the eye of the storm, the still point that gives the chaos its shape and meaning. Second, the act of blessing. The warrior conquers territory. The king makes it fertile. The act of blessing is the conscious projection of generative, life-affirming energy. It is the gaze that does not appraise, but affirms. It is the word that does not command, but anoints. It is the touch that does not take, but transmits vitality. The king sees the potential in his domain, in his woman, in his enterprise, in his people, and his focused attention makes that potential bloom. When a man accesses his inner king, his frantic need to dominate and win dissolves. Why? Because the king's authority is inherent, not performative. He does not need to pass her tests, because from his elevated perspective, her tests are not a threat to his kingdom. They are merely weather patterns on the horizon, temporary squalls in a domain over which he holds absolute atmospheric control. He meets her chaos not with the warrior's reactive counterattack, but with a profound, unshakable calm that silently, irresistibly reorganizes her own nervous system around his. Let us make this gnosis tactical. Witness the king's power in three distinct arenas where the warrior's approach is found wanting. Tactical Arena 1. the test of emotional chaos. A woman, feeling insecure or seeking to test his frame, erupts in an emotional storm. She accuses him, "You don't care about me. You're never present." The warrior's response, reactive dominance. The warrior sees an attack. He meets it with amused mastery. He might smirk and say, "That's cute. Are you done?" Or he might hold frame by ignoring her, continuing to watch TV. He wins the moment by not yielding, but he has engaged in the battle on her terms. He has implicitly validated her chaos as something worthy of a tactical response. The conflict remains a duel. The king's response, generative order. The king sees not an attack, but a bid for certainty from a dysregulated part of his kingdom. He does not react to the content of her words. He remains utterly still, his breathing unchanged. He lets her storm expend its energy against the unshakable silence of his presence. After the peak has passed, he offers a single generative statement, not of defense, but of reality-defining truth. He might say, with profound, quiet calm, "My presence is here. Come back to it when you are ready." He has not fought her. He has given her a landmark to navigate back to. He has ordered her chaos without validating it. Her nervous system registers this as profound safety, and her desire deepens. Tactical Arena 2, the negotiation of desire. She wants to go to an expensive restaurant he deems frivolous. She makes her case, subtly implying his refusal would signal a lack of care or provision. The warrior's response, the tactical no. The warrior sees a power play, a test of his frame. He delivers a hard no. He might say, "We're not doing that," asserting his will and refusing to be manipulated. He wins the frame, but he creates an adversarial dynamic. He has defended his territory, but has not made his kingdom more fertile. The king's response, the act of blessing. The king perceives her desire not as a test, but as an expression of her nature, her longing for beauty and experience. He does not cede his frame, but he blesses her desire. He might say, "I see the part of you that craves that experience, and it is beautiful." Then, from a place of absolute authority, he provides a superior alternative that aligns with his own vision. Tonight, however, we are doing something else, something I have prepared. He has validated her spirit while simultaneously reinforcing his own absolute leadership. She feels seen, blessed, and safely, excitingly led. Tactical Arena 3, the public gaze. At a social event, another high-status male gives his woman overt, appreciative attention. The warrior's response, territorial display. The warrior perceives this as a direct threat from a rival. He might move to physically block the other man, put his arm around his woman possessively, or interrupt with a display of higher social value. He engages in a dominance competition. He may win by driving the rival off, but he has revealed his insecurity, his fear of losing her. The king's response, the gaze of ownership. The king sees the other man's attention as a tribute to the quality of his kingdom. He remains where he is, unperturbed. He may offer the other man a brief, almost imperceptible nod of magnanimous acknowledgement, a silent, "Yes, she is magnificent, and she is mine." Then he meets his woman's eyes across the room, and with his gaze alone, without a word, he blesses her, reminding her of the profound, unshakable connection that exists only between them. He has used the rival's attention to amplify his own value and deepen his own bond.
He did not fight for his territory, he simply reminded the world and her who owned it all along. This is the power beyond dominance. It is the power of pure generative order. The Alpha forces her to submit to his will. The sovereign king creates a reality so coherent, so stable, so fundamentally right that her surrender feels like coming home. If you are beginning to grasp this profound shift from the warrior's sword to the king's throne, command the like button now. Acknowledge that you are ready for a higher form of power.
The second pillar, the alchemical fire of the sacred man. The Alpha's power is social. It is derived from his mastery of the external game, his status, his perceived value in the sexual marketplace. The sovereign's power, however, is spiritual. It is an energetic reality forged through internal alchemy. This is the Gnosis of the sacred man. It is the understanding that true masculine power is not just psychological, but bioenergetic. It is cultivated through two sacred, often forbidden arts: the unwavering pursuit of a divine purpose and the conscious transmutation of sexual energy. The man who has found his purpose, his mission, beyond any woman, any relationship, any fleeting pleasure, radiates an unshakable directional force. He is a vector, a spear of intent, moving through the world. A woman feels this. Her primal self recognizes that his reality is not built around her, and this very independence becomes the ultimate aphrodisiac. And deeper still, there is the alchemy of the unspent seed. The sacred man understands that his sexual energy is his life force, his creative fire. He does not spill it recklessly in the pursuit of fleeting release. Through the esoteric arts of retention and transmutation, he learns to circulate this potent energy within his own being, converting it from raw lust into a radiant and palpable charisma. His presence becomes charged, his gaze becomes heavy, his silence becomes a dense magnetic field. He does not need to perform dominance because this cultivated energetic pressure does the work for him. It is an atmospheric dominance that she feels on her skin, in her bones, in the deepest recesses of her nervous system, long before her conscious mind can even begin to analyze his game. She does not feel dominated. She feels profoundly, irresistibly drawn into a higher state of energetic coherence. This is the chasm that separates the Alpha from the Sovereign. The Alpha masters the external world. The Sovereign masters the internal universe, and the external world has no choice but to bend to its resonant power. Which path now calls to you, initiate? The endless, exhausting battle of tactical dominance, or the quiet, profound alchemical work of forging a soul whose very gravity reshapes reality? Share your Gnosis. Where does your true hunger now lie? Your answer reveals the stage of your own initiation. The Cathedral's embrace, from dominance to dominion. Stop trying to be dominant. The very effort disqualifies you. The constant need to prove, to posture, to defend is a broadcast of insecurity.
It is the mark of the warrior who secretly fears his king is dead. The path of seduction noir, in its highest expression, is the path of resurrection. It is the journey to find the silent, forgotten king upon his throne within you. It is the sacred, alchemical work of stoking the inner fire of the sacred man until it burns so brightly that it requires no outward display. This is the journey from dominance to dominion. Dominance is a tactic. Dominion is a state of being. Dominance is a battle. Dominion is the peace that follows a war you have already won long ago within yourself. To embody this sovereign gravity, to become the man whose stillness commands more than an alpha's actions, requires a complete re-architecting of your inner world. It is the highest, most demanding, and most rewarding gnosis the cathedral has to offer. If your soul rejects the hollow victory of mere dominance and craves this ultimate effortless power, then your true initiation is at hand. Subscribe and strike the obsidian bell of sovereignty. Declare your intention to move beyond the battlefield and to ascend to the throne. The Alpha makes her submit. The sovereign creates a world so beautiful, so ordered, so potent that she begs to be a part of it. Her surrender is not a victory for him, it is a gift to herself.